1 minute, 1 minute. Final preparations underway for our riders. The sweaty palms, the nervous stomach.
Nerves in this group? What is there to be nervous about before the Cat 3 race? Last course checks underway. The fans ready to go. We got some of the greatest in the world here in Tulsa, and we are just about ready to send these guys off. So, Tulsa, I'm going to ask for your help. Can we get a little noise for the Cat 3s? Jeff, what do you say we launch these guys? Let's go! Category 3 is underway.
Top 3 overall masters, head over to the podium. Top 3 overall masters, head over to the podium. We got things underway right now. It's our men's category 3, 50 minutes of racing. A lot of these riders brand new to bike racing, have only been maybe training or racing for a year, maybe 2, trying to be able to upgrade and move into a little bit better categories. And so, nice field here. 100 riders on a start line. Day number 2 of our St. Francis Tulsa Tough. Come on, Tulsa, make some noise. And look at these guys coming through. 50 minutes of racing. Tackling a 6-corner course, 1.4 kilometers long, and look how it is strung out. Lots of action going on at the front, lots of action happening in the back. the last thing you need is a Red Bull. You need a sugar-free, decaffeinated, no anything, whatever, drink. What am I looking for? David Richter. Is Richter over there in the orange jersey?
You see a long line of Cat 3s as they roll by here, and more importantly, you can feel the wind coming off of these guys. If you're along the fence, you really feel that air coming off of this field as they roll by. That does a very good job of explaining the importance of drafting and why they ride in these single file lines. Because what you're really feeling is the air that the leaders are pushing out of the way. And to move that air, they got to do about 30% more work than the other guys sitting in the group, because they get to sit in that low pressure air pocket that's created when the leaders punch a hole in that wind. So as that air gets moved out of the way, the guys that are able to sit in and sit behind another rider can save a significant amount of energy. It's a big part of bike racing, understanding how to ride in the group. That's why you see these guys riding one behind another. You'll almost always see riders linked up with someone else. Because in this, like, let's say you've just got two riders out on the road together, it's about 30% that the second guy doesn't have to do. He's only got to do 70% of the effort if he's drafting off of just one guy. You can save up to 60% of the energy, which means there are guys in that main field that are only doing 40% of the effort that the leader is doing at the front. There are big energy savings to be had by drafting off of the guys in front of you.
Look at these guys trying to be able to break away. Cheer him on. He's practically sprinting for the line. He's going to keep going as well. Not slowing down, not waiting around. That's going to be Leaf Winners. I think Leaf, one of our younger riders out there on the races. Here comes the main group making their way through. A lot of racing still to go.
let's get started with our Masters men's podium. Just wrapped up, saw a great race out there. We'll start with our top three on the day, beginning with third place, riding for Titan Racing, Caden Cycler out of California. First to the podium, your bronze medalist today, Phil Tinsman. Second place, representing that powerhouse Texas Roadhouse cycling team out of Kentucky. Up next is David Richter. And your race winner, top step of the podium, calls Tulsa, Oklahoma home. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your Masters winner, Drew Christopher. Drew going to get his Moo Apparel winner's jersey. Spent a lot of time on a lot of podiums, but nothing quite like winning at home. Drew Christopher, your winner today at the FC Tulsa Arts District Criterium.
Hey, Tulsa, how about if we give these guys a little bit of cash? We're going to be ringing a bell for a preem. Once again, a big thank you from Smith Farm and Garden. Riders about $150 cash preem. $150 cash preem to the winner of the next lap. $150. Got to get from the back to the front in order to be able to win the money. Cash preem once again brought to you by Smith Farm and Garden. Going to get a little bit of a reaction from a couple riders trying to be able to get away immediately. Taking a flyer from a long ways out, one of those riders in the orange jersey, and I think that is going to be Con Truong, Minnesota Junior Cycling Team. The young 15-year-old, you know what $150 means to him? A ton. So right now he's going from a long ways out, reeled back in as the rest of the pack starting to be able to feel the momentum, all starting to be able to come around. Trying to be able to set up to see who can win $150. Brought to you by Smith Farm and Garden. First preem on the day, riders taking full momentum. Coming out of the corner, look at that, they're starting to sprint immediately. They're not waiting around for their mark. They're coming out of the corner, 3 wide. Drag race right down the middle. It's going to be a competition coming down to the bike throw, and that is going to be your $150 winner going to Zach Collier, or no, excuse me, that's Jackson Clary. The young junior rider that won the race earlier, he talked about he knows he has a good sprint. He just proved it once again as Jackson Clary picks that up. He won the junior race, so this is his second race on the day. 17 years old, $150 in his pocket. Jackson Cleary, just one of our juniors that are in this race. Tozer Jones, he won his junior race a little bit earlier. He's racing for a second time. He's only 15 years old. Adida Yoshi, he raced earlier, the 16-year-old, coming back and racing for a second time. Carl Boquist, Ty Brussell as well. Miguel Davis. So about 6 juniors are all in this race, racing for the second time. A little bit faster, a little bit harder competition for many of these riders as they're making their way through here. Day number 2 of our Tulsa Tough races.
Just under 19 minutes in, group still all together. OKCC up on the front. Looks like they're happy to let him ride. Brent Zielinski setting a nice pace for those guys, and more importantly, giving them a nice draft. Front of your group back through a lot of reshuffling going on up there. This one is ripe for the taking. Problem is, nobody wants it. Still a lot of racing to go here. They're waiting to see if somebody else is going to start the breakaway. That's the hardest part, is getting the breakaway started. Going across the breakaway is the easy way to do it, and I think there's a lot of guys here kind of looking around saying, all right, if someone starts, I'll go, but it's the starting part that's not happening yet. These guys coming up on halfway into their 50-minute race. About 22 and a half minutes elapsed so far, and we are right back where we started 22 minutes ago. Groups still all together, no splits out here yet. These guys playing the waiting game. in the category threes. And seeing a few riders coming unglued off the back, but for the most part, pretty chill day out here so far for the category threes after a wild day yesterday. I think there might be a few gun-shy riders out there today. These threes doing a nice job staying upright, 23 minutes in, getting ready for what should be an exciting second half of this one. Well, here we go. You're going to see a little move when they make their way around the final turn here. Looks like 3 guys going clear now. I'll call it 2 plus 1 right now. Question is everyone going to work here? Second guy in line has got to take a pull here pretty soon. Well, it takes a gamble to get into a breakaway, and these guys not afraid to roll the dice. Make a little noise for this escaping group. Early signs of a breakaway going up the road here.
Riders at the bottom of the hill were almost reeled back in, and they sensed the field coming up on them, and they attacked each other once again, establishing that gap going over the top of the hill. Now they're on the long descent coming in towards that final turn, only with about a 3-second gap leading him through right there. Kate Pear, Skyway Racing, the 24-year-old coming out of Colorado, not giving up. He put in a big effort trying to be able to get into the breakaway. He wants to stay in the breakaway. That's the rider in the white jersey coming around that turn. He needs a little bit of help. Kate Pear with a little flick of the elbow, trying to be able to get some other riders to be able to come across. Now we got some riders going across the gap. That's going to be Mitchell Beswick in that purple jersey. Here's your top 3. Here are the riders going across the gap right now. It's almost all brought back together.
Beswick going to weld this one back as he drags the entire field up with him. Just a little too much interest in that group of 3 up the road. Again, this is the hard part of trying to get a breakaway going in a race like this, because there are so many attempts throughout the 50-minute race, and you never really know which one's going to go. The art is being able to read the race in a way that you can kind of take inventory and immediately make a snap decision as to whether or not you like what's going up the road. Some guys are better at it than others. They just have a little better race vision than others. And some guys are just so strong that they can pretty much follow every move that goes and eventually make sure that they're in the winning one. Now, the guys that you see going right now, these are not the best sprinters in the race. The riders that are trying to go into the breakaway will do that because they know that if this one stays together, they don't have a very good chance of winning. So they got to figure out how to beat the sprinters at something that isn't the sprinters' game, and that means taking that equation out and trying to get a win out of the breakaway. So these guys are more like the marathon runners that you see in the breakaway right now, whereas the guys later on in the race, if this stays together, will be more like the 100-meter dash runners. You never see the marathon guys do the 100-meter dash. You never see Usain Bolt run a marathon because that's not what they do. That's their expertise. So you're watching the marathon runners right now trying to turn this into a long-range game where the sprinters are sitting back hoping that they have a chance to show their skills in about 11 laps from now, as they see 11 on the counter here. And your solo leader holding on to it, just dangling off the front at 11 to go for David Flayton. Group back together, but a new hand of cards being dealt off the front here, as now Zach Collier tries to take him off the front for the Giacomo Racing Squad out of Missouri. He's going to have a couple takers on his invitation. Problem is, he's got too many takers. Oh, you're about to see a new group rolling through off the front. Next time we see them led by Tulsa's Austin Boardman. Taking a look at this one now. See him in the dark red jersey. Boardman head down on the front. And Austin, I got a preem for you from my buddy Tony Russell in the TV truck with a $100 cash preem. Attention riders, $100 cash preem as Austin Boardman leads the way. $100 cash on the line here, guys. 100 cash, 100 cash, 100 cash. Courtesy of Tony Russell and Bicycles of Tulsa.
Those 4 riders with a little bit of a gap, $100 on the line. They're going to gun it full stick, shifting it into 6th gear, trying to be able to go down that backstretch. A little bit of a crosswind down that backstretch, but if you can get to the final turn, if you look at those flags, very much a tailwind out of the home stretch. You just got to get to that last turn first, as these guys right now coasting, trying to be able to set it up. Skyway Racing trying to be able to look over his shoulder. $100 up for grabs once again, coming from Bicycles of Tulsa. Here's your sprint with $100 up for grabs. Also, these riders are going to be seeing 8 laps to go. 8 to go. Just enough. Just enough. Jackson Clary, once again, that's a second preem on the day that he picks up. He talked about being fast. I got to say, he's showing he's pretty quick.
Luke Riley getting up there as well, having a good ride. Oh, man, close one on the line. I love a good replay. Great job by our video production team all week. TV truck bringing you live images on the big screen. If you're walking around the venue, don't forget you can stream this live on YouTube for free in HD. So if you're going to leave the venue or maybe take a walk around where you're going to be away from any of the big screens around, be sure to pull that up on your phone. It's right on the Tulsa Tough YouTube page.
Rider slowing down a little bit as they're starting to be able to bunch up. You've seen him come through here. It's been in a single file line as they're pushing the pace, trying to be able to keep it going. But right now, they're all trying to be able to catch their breath. When they come through, it's going to be 7 laps to go. So right now, bunching up a little bit, trying to be able to figure out the tactics and the strategy. Quickly learning on what they need to be able to do to win here on day number 2 at Tulsa Tough.
Nice move off the front here, 484, taking a strong look at it. That's the kind of move you want to follow as John Railsback for the Full Send Racing, presented by Mike's Bikes team, coming out of Colorado, puts in a massive dig to get away here. He's got a nice gap, got one with him, 7 laps to go. Might be a little early, but we'll see if he can link up with Miguel Davis here, 424, that purple jersey, trying to go across. Going to need a little help here. Can't do this alone for 7 laps, especially as these conditions continue to change. A little bit of wind starting to pick up out there. Worst nightmare of a solo bike racer. But he is committed to this move.
That's going to be John Railsback. Full Send Racing. That's exactly what he's doing. Full Send. Rider coming out of Colorado. 29 years old. Finds himself all alone. Man, we're going to have to cheer him on when he comes through in this lap. Right now in the downhill, getting ready to come around that final turn. Field sitting up. This is the biggest gap we've seen so far. Here he comes. Railsback. Look at that. Nobody behind him except for one rider. Then there's an even bigger gap. Railsback trying to be able to go solo with 6 laps to go. Come on, Tulsa, cheer him on. The rider out of Colorado. Now we got a guy trying to be able to go across the gap. That is going to be William Nolert. Nolert very attentive yesterday at the Blue Dome Criterium. So 2 riders trying to be able to track themselves down. As they say right now, it's mano a mano. So William Nollert finds himself on the front of that group right now as our solo rider still remains off the front. Legs are starting to be able to tire. This was the move. He decided, look, I got to be able to try to get away. I can't sprint. I got a time trial. Rider out of Colorado, mouth wide open, trying to be able to take in as much oxygen as possible. 5 laps to go. Can he stay away?
Well, this guy either wins this bike race or dies trying. There is no in between for this solo rider right here. Help him out, make a little noise. He's all in on this one.
That gap's going to be about 5 seconds. One rider up the road, 5-second gap. 5 laps to go, 5-second gap. A little bit faster lap. Look at the gaps that are opening up in the back of this group. Riders are getting dropped. Riders are coming off the back. That means they are pretty focused on trying to be able to chase down John Railsback. Riding for Fulson Racing came through with a 5-second lead. He's already been away for 3 laps. Can he stay away for 4 more laps?
Railsback still away here. Gap coming down. Give him a little love. Rest of the field going to calm down here. They don't need to panic about Railsback yet because they still got it. With 4 laps to go, they got him right where they want it. This is like a cat toying with their prey here before they finally take Railsback down. No reason to do it right now. You can let that guy roast, and you'll shut it down in like 2 laps to go, if not earlier. I think Railsback probably realizing that right now, and he'll pull the plug, go back in, and hit the reset button. They're going to be all back together here. 3 laps to go. Hit the reset button. And now the chase is on to try to control this one at the front. John Birchmore from the OKCC squad. Looking over his shoulder. Another attempt to go off the front here, rolling away. Again, there are a lot of riders in this race that don't want this to come down to a field sprint, because being a good sprinter is a very specialized skill that only a few guys in this group would consider themselves to be an odds-on favorite or believe in themselves to take a win here. Pretty much everyone else is going to be looking for another way to win, and that's why you're seeing so many breakaway attempts in this Category 3 field. The other thing about Cat 3 is they are wild out there. This is one of the most chaotic races that you'll see. This is kind of the last stop before you get to the 1-2 rank. So these are the mid-level amateurs. Everybody starts as a Category 5. You go to a 4 from there, then the 3s, and then it's on the 1s and 2s, which will race after this, and then the pros beyond that. So this is kind of like AAA baseball out here, and what you see are a lot of very motivated bike racers that are looking for their shot to try to get a result that can get them into the 1-2s and get them out of the Category 3s here. That often results in a very chaotic last few laps here, as these Category 3s are some of the riskiest racers that you'll see out there. Leader's going to see 2 as they come back through the line. 2 more chances to make a little noise for your Cat 3s. Give some love, Tulsa, down to 2 to go all together here. See these guys in the back. Look at the last guy in line there. See how he's coasting, not even pedaling at all? He's just getting sucked along by that draft out in front of him. Now, that's a nice place to hang out and save energy. The problem is the front of this bike race is in a different zip code than that guy right now. So he's going to have to do a lot of work to get back up to the front. That is probably a rider who's just happy to be there right now. He is just targeting trying to finish with the group, which, all things considered, is an accomplishment in itself at Tulsa Tough. Go. Oh, our TV crew is going to love this. Right by the effects mic. That's perfect. I'll let our A1 in the truck know that there's about to be a loud bell coming to stage right effects mic, just so you know. No, they're good. We got people to handle that. All right, getting ready to ring these riders up for 1 lap to go as they dive into the final corner here. Field going to be all together, all spread out. This is anyone's race at the top of the Category 3s. Attention, riders, you are down to 1 lap to go. Down to 1 to go, riders. 1 to go, 1 to go, 1 to go. Last lap, guys. 1 lap of racing. One more time for your Category 3s at Tulsa Tough.
Group's all together right now. Rider out of the saddle, sprinting. Taking advantage of the uphill. That could be where his strength is right now. A little glance over the shoulder. Has he gone too early? Because everybody's on him. He doesn't realize it, but he's doing a massive lead out, trying to be able to keep that pace high. Look at this. Huge group coming around.
Guy that just came by was John Railsback. Remember that guy that went away solo? I told you he was going to go all in. Well, there you go. That's the other end of all in. But he wasn't afraid to gamble. He knew what he was getting into. That's just bike racing. If you want to win, you got to risk losing.
Watch out for the rider in the white jersey, Jackson Clare. We talked about him. He won the first 2 preems, the young 17-year-old. Can he come back on race number 2 and win again? Here they come, Tulsa. Make some noise. This is your final sprint.
They're going to open it up from the right side here. Red jersey going to have a good look at it. Make a little noise for it. They're going to hold on with 496. Jordan Smith. Smith made it look easy. Won with some swagger. Doesn't get much better than that.
Good job, JJ.
And what's kind of interesting is that little emblem on the back of his jersey is very similar to the rider that was leading it out on the uphill, keeping the pace high. So I think he had a little bit of help from some teammates that were out there. Great ride by Jordan Smith, winning here on day number 2.
We can see where Smith was starting the sprint from 3rd position, sees the lead out, and really just timed it perfectly. Great sprint for Jordan Smith. Dives into the corner, gave himself about a bike length lead, railed that corner. He was about a half a mile away from overcooking that one.